Hop up on the kitchen island counter. Let me grab a blanket for you to lie on and a pillow from the couch. Here you go. Now, I want you to get comfortable lying here on the counter island. Are you comfortable? Yeah. What are you going to do to me? He smiled and looked at her. You'll see, as he grabbed another cookie, still cooling from one of the cookie trays. Now, I'm going to do something to you as we both enjoy this cookie. Here, we'll split it. Take a bite. She laid there on the countertop with her full body extended and began to eat part of the cookie as he fed her, as if she were lying in bed on her side. As she ate, he took his bite and they started to kiss, making out with hot, melting chocolate in their mouths was an experiential moment of ecstasy she had never had before. Again, he was taking her into a world she had never been, but was soon enjoying. As they kissed and made out, he extended his hand to the belt of her robe to open it up some. While she finished her cookie, he began licking and kissing her nipples, only to move back quickly to her mouth, focused on kissing her and exchanging chocolate tongue licks. His hand moved down in between her legs to find her little doorbell. High from the chocolate sugar and melting with kisses, his hand on her clit just seemed to make the perfect addition. He kept her distracted with kisses and making out and lip-locked moments, while he proceeded to wet her clit with her now moist cherry pink box juice. She saw in her mind what was coming. She was about to come on the countertop in his kitchen. She'd never done this before. No man had ever put her atop any kitchen counter island like this, fed her chocolate chip cookies, kissed her, and made her come. She was all in for him pleasuring her again in this new way. With one free hand, she reached up to touch his head to help accentuate the act of kissing and making out on the counter. Her other free hand helped open her robe more, exposing her naked body underneath. Naked, her legs now fully spread on the counter, kissing her man again. She was losing herself back into a world she had come to know, having spent so much time with him. She knew her body more, having come so often by the same man. He was always patient, taking things slowly, and carefully not to push too fast or too hard. He had the right touch for making her come anytime, all the time, and now anywhere, including the kitchen island counter. Because this was a big countertop, she was very comfortable spreading out. His gesture of getting the pillow and blanket to lie on was sweet, and she loved that about him, that he looked after her every need. Focused now on coming, she began to conjure up how he made her come all those other times before. She was now understanding her own coming down to a science, having come so many times, let alone so close together over the past few days, and again by the same man. During this whole time, they didn't once leave each other's lips. Lip-locked and loving it, he continued twitching her cute little doorbell until he could sense that she was about to come. Sometimes he can slow down a bit, keeping her coming at bay for just a few seconds at a time. When she's on that edge of orgasm, he can feel it. Keeping her on that edge helps magnify and increase the coming and growing tensions she's feeling inside. I want to come. I'm almost there. I know what he's doing, and I can't stand it. But I love it too. He knows I'm on the verge of coming, and he's keeping me right there on the edge for me to remain in coming torture. This is how he's making me come, by keeping me on the edge. I think this time I'll walk across that orgasmic come line slowly. This will help expand her enjoyment of it after looking back after she comes, he said to himself. Not to prolong the agony of her orgasm any longer, he rushed to push her over the edge by pressing down just a little bit harder, but not too much, on a very precise area of her doorbell, all while twitching it back and forth rather fast. Now, as to make her come within 3, 2, 1 seconds, and bam. Her body shook, her back arched, her legs closed some, her eyes rolled back, as she kept lip-locked on her man, until she was forced internally to pull away for air as she breathed in and then cried out, "Ah, yes! Oh, I'm coming, yes!" She let out another one of her sexy screams, just like before when she came hard in his arms in bed. Now, though, coming on the island counter and in the kitchen had a whole new special impact on her brain. Going forward, she would never see just sitting at the island counter the same again. Yes, it's a great place to dine and socialize and have a few drinks, maybe even bake some cookies. And now, lying naked on the counter is also a good place for him to make her have another orgasm? When she pushed his hand away due to the sensitivity of her now throbbing doorbell, he knew to immediately cover her up in the blanket he got for her comfort. This was to keep her warm. As he covered her, he cradled her some and then hugged her close and tight. "I got you, babe," he whispered in her ear as she lay there, almost helpless. "Baby, I came on your counter. It felt so good." "I know. I got you. Just rest." After 2 to 3 minutes of rest, he picked her up and carried her in his arms all the way back to the bedroom, where she could lay and cuddle with her man more comfortably, having just come on his kitchen counter like that. "Oh, my man is carrying me to bed. He's so romantic. I love him," she thought to herself. Placing her down gently on the bed, she moved some of the covers so she could slide in. He followed. For a few minutes, all they did was just lay still, while he let her process what had just happened to her. Every time she comes, she either comes hard or deep. Lying there, she thought to herself, "I'm stuck. Stuck on him. Stuck on his care. Stuck on his patience with me. I'm stuck. Stuck in his bed for a good while. I feel so good right now. I'm in my robe, naked underneath, in his bed, under the covers. My man's arms are around me. Our bodies are spooning. What could be more heavenly than how I'm feeling right now?" Within a few minutes of relaxing like that, she turned around and looked up at him, nestled in his arms and warm body. "That was unreal. What gave you the idea to put me up on your counter and make me come like that?" "Nothing really. I just want you to get to know your body more by coming in different places around the house. I figure you'd like it." "I loved it. You really do know how to take care of me, don't you?" "Hey, I try," he said softly and with some humility to boot. "Well, you try and do, when everyone else who I've ever been with never tried. They never did what I'm finding out only you can do." "Oh, yeah? Say, I have an idea. Why don't we skip the movies today and head down to the beach instead? We can walk around there, get some sun, talk, hang out, and maybe get a bite down by the beach if we get hungry." "I like that. That sounds good. I'd like to do that instead, yeah. We can go to the movies any day. Today, I feel like spending time with you, walking around the beach, like you say. You just know how to make a girl happy, don't you?" They laid there for a few more minutes to ponder their new move to head down to the beach together and get out of the house for a while. Within a few, they got up out of bed and headed for their own showers to get ready. Disrobing and getting into her shower, She never felt more relaxed and ready to spend the rest of the day with her man out and about. As the warm water poured over her body, she would touch herself in all the places he had just touched her. With every stroke of her hand or a brush of the soap sponge up against her body, she could only smile warm thoughts about how she was feeling in that moment. Going to the beach, walking around, hand in hand, she envisioned, was such a thrill to look forward to.